Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. My name is Richard Beeston. I'm the Chief Technology Officer at Digital Space. We're just going to give it just a couple of minutes till sort of 3 minutes past 2, just to let some stragglers join, and then we'll crack on with our Microsoft webinar today. We have got a team of people with us who are able to take your questions. So if you've got questions, please send them through, and we'll endeavour to answer them as we go along. If we can't answer them, we'll get back to you in as quickly as possible. So yeah, we'll be with you in 2 minutes. Thanks very much. Okay, so we've got a few more people join, so let's get underway. So for those who missed out, hi, I'm Richard Beeston, Chief Technology Officer of Digital Space. We're here to talk about how you could do more with Microsoft 365. My colleague Anthony will be delivering the majority of this presentation today. We have got questions turned on, so if you've got some questions, please do ask them. We'll endeavour to answer them as we go along, and if not, we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So just a quick overview of the agenda that we're going to go through today. And as I say, it will be delivered mainly by my colleague Anthony, and we've got Q&A available throughout. So my little section here is just a little bit of a reminder or introduction, if you're not aware of us, to Digital Space. We are a managed service provider, and we connect businesses with their customers and enable them to be more productive, safe, and successful. We have been established for around 20 years and operate in the UK market generally. We work in a consultative way with our customers to understand your requirements, and then we work alongside you to describe your business challenges, match technology solutions to those, and then deliver against them. We operate with standard blueprint designs for everything that we do, so we never start from scratch. We've got referenceability in everything that we do, so it's not new to us. As few surprises as possible, and we support those designs with both our core network and cloud capability, which allows us to operate a hybrid cloud strategy, whereby we can have data within our own data centers if that's something that meets a requirement, or of course we can have it in the Microsoft Azure cloud as well. We lastly, as mentioned, we're a managed service provider. We operate a simple service model across everything that we do, and it's designed on a transfer of responsibility. So at one end, where our customers do the majority of the work, and at the other end, where we do all of it in a fully managed service. And in the middle, clearly, there's a sort of shared responsibility or co-management solution. We, alongside cloud and Microsoft capability, we have great referenceability in our unified comms and connectivity estate, and we'd be happy to talk to you about that as well at a later date. So now I've got through those details, I'll hand over to my colleague Anthony, who will take you through the agenda for today. So over to you, Anthony.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Richard. So I'm just going to take a moment to take control of the slides. Brilliant stuff. Okay, so Yeah, so my name's Tony, Anthony Taylor for full. I am a Microsoft specialist. I've been working with Microsoft technologies for the best part of a decade. Today, the main aim is to show you the wonderful world of Microsoft 365 and how it enables secure productivity, zero trust security protection, and endpoint management in a secure lens. Now, there are terms in there which some people may not know, such as zero trust, and we will go through, what that is and why that's important for your business. But primarily today is to showcase those technologies, and there will be a demo as well around how to use these productivity tools in a day-to-day basis. So I do hope you enjoy this. As we say, we've got a Q&A open. If anyone can just put a quick test in there, make sure we're getting those questions through at any point. But as we go through, please feel free to ask any questions, and I'll ask my colleagues to make sure I'm noticing those as well. So the good news is there is a solution with Microsoft 365 Business Premium specifically that provides you with comprehensive, secure remote work solutions to help address the main needs in today's way of working. It brings together favorite productivity tools for businesses, such as, well, the ones we know, Word, Excel, Outlook, and PowerPoint, even Microsoft Teams, which you're probably already using today. That then comes with advanced remote access, security solutions around device management. So all the devices that your staff are using, it does get involved with that to make sure your data is secured on them and is exactly where you know it needs to be and nowhere else. And this is all to give you that peace of mind that when you're running your business and your people are being productive day to day, that your business information is protected. So I want to talk about the capabilities of Business Premium today. And there's some questions here which, I'm hoping by the end of this, we can help answer. What are the key challenges today that small and medium businesses face in especially a hybrid working world? We know since the pandemic that really has skyrocketed and it's remained very high since then. Why should you trust Microsoft for security? A lot of people don't know, but Microsoft over the past, I would say 5 to 10 years have invested a hell of a lot in becoming a security vendor, and they're very much the top of the game at the minute. Also, how does Microsoft 365 help in reducing your IT cost and complexity? It definitely can do that. And it may be one that the digital space team can pick up with you to have a look at some of the technologies that you adopt that Business Premium can take over as part of one package, and we will go through that. And how does Microsoft 365 enable secure productivity? So what does that mean? What is secure productivity? How can we do our day-to-day being secure without that getting in the way of what we're primarily there to do for our customers? And how can it get you ready for Copilot? Now, you may be on one end of the spectrum with Copilot. You might know nothing about it. You might not, have a keen interest currently. You might be, chomping at the bit to use this technology. What we do know is, AI is here. We're seeing a lot about it. Whether that's, from silly pictures AI is generated to some advanced, business applications which are starting to make use of generative AI. Copilot is Microsoft's integration of artificial intelligence into the Microsoft stack. So wherever you are on that spectrum, it's always important to know that whether you haven't even started or you are excited to use it, by using something like Business Premium, you're already preparing yourself for that as a bonus on top of. Okay, so let's jump in. Let me just switch the slide. So whether you and your organization have decided to make remote work options permanent across your business, or you just want to have more options when it comes to connecting teams and customers with the right digital tools to be at that competitive advantage, we see some continued challenges around remote work. So for example, you can see the numbers on the screen here. 43% of remote workers do not feel included in meetings. Now, I should probably step back and say this comes from the Microsoft Work Trend Index report, which is a yearly report across multiple regions in the world, about 31,000 different organizations, LinkedIn data. It really is a comprehensive report, and you can, if you are interested, have a full read of this just by finding it online. But these numbers come from that, and they are very reliable in that way. So it can be, with that 43%, it can be challenging to balance the needs of remote and in-person team members. And in many businesses, the future will increasingly see a mix of both. The other thing to look at is leaders fear that productivity has been negatively impacted since shifting to remote work. It's important to underline here, all the studies that have looked at this, including the Work Trend Index report, show this isn't necessarily the case. You just need increased visibility and connection to help get the most from your team. That seems to be the trend there. Finally, more employees are using personal devices at work. So this is great for engagement and productivity, but it's important to have a good solution for securing those devices and preventing data loss. So this is what we're seeing in the world of SMB. So let's have a look at more of an AI scope. So as I say, after seeing some of the trends within a shifting workforce to more remote work and why the right digital tools can be an advantage, here's one example of the biggest influencer at the minute and the biggest change, AI. Because 18 months ago, we would just not have expected that we'd be talking about generative AI. Obviously, it started with ChatGPT, but we haven't really experienced growth at this scale in the tech industry for, well, ever. We can look at this graph here. If you look at mobile phones, to reach 100 million users, it took them 16 years to get there, which, it's a big number of people. That's a long time. The internet dwarfed that with 7 years. Facebook took even bigger hits on the internet at 4.5 years. Then you look at something like ChatGPT, it's 3 months. So what we're seeing here is, in the SMB world, across leaders and business users, it is just naturally getting adopted. That the need is there. So for many people, the era of AI can't come soon enough. That the pace of work has increased. I'm sure we've all felt it. The weight of data, more inbound information. You've got multiple ways to communicate with people now. It's always on communication. It can be a struggle to manage it all, and it does show in the figures. If you then overlay that with business leaders looking for more productivity in a less stable economic climate, AI needs to get more involved with our day-to-day. It's the only way we're going to be able to meet these demands head on. So from the Microsoft Trend Index report, we've got some very interesting insights. So the first thing to say is digital debt is costing us innovation. What does that mean? So 64% of people say they struggle with having the time and the energy to do their job. And of those people, or rather, those people are 3.5 times more likely to also struggle with innovation and strategic thinking, which makes sense. You've got a lot coming into your inbox. You've got a lot of tasks you're thinking about for the week. Creative thinking requires, a more relaxed approach. You don't want to be under pressure, and it is needed to run an organization. The other thing to look at, so if we think 68% of people say they don't have enough uninterrupted focus time during the workday. Obviously helps with the creative thinking again. So you can see here the amount of time spent in Teams meetings, that's gone up 3 times since February 2020. So that's not only the work pressure, but then you've got less time to do this stuff. What has this led to? So there is a new AI employee alliance. 70% of employees would delegate as much as possible to AI and lessen their workloads. And despite other views we can sometimes hear around AI, taking jobs, business leaders are 2 times as likely to use AI to increase productivity over headcount decrease. Increase productivity was the largest percentage at about 31%. So in summary, AI is poised to lift the weight of work, and it's a great potential to free people from increasing workloads, fuel innovation, and for both, overwhelmed employees and leaders looking to bolster productivity, that the promise is far overdue. I think it's important to talk about this because whilst Business Premium doesn't intrinsically come with the AI features, it does require Copilot for that. It's really important to underline that you are future-proofing yourself with this as well. So if it ever became something important to the business, obviously digital space can help you with that. You're on the right license already. Well, let's turn our head to security, something Business Premium intrinsically does excel at. Regardless of how large or small your business may be, security is the top of mind for everyone, and it definitely should be. We often hear that small and medium businesses face a situation in which they are vulnerable to the same threats as enterprises. But what's an issue there is small to medium businesses don't have the same level of specialized security staff of some of these 500 plus 1,000 plus organizations have, nor the tools either to combat these. So if we take a look, we've actually seen a 300% increase in ransomware attacks in the past year. More than half of those targeted at small businesses. Not surprisingly, leaders of those businesses see cyber threats becoming a growing area of business risk as well. Now, the other thing to look at, this is obviously across the world, but with the average cost of data breaches exceeding up to $100,000, it quickly makes sense to consider investing upfront in higher levels of security. At the same time, in this world of hybrid work, you need solutions which are built to protect your business wherever people are working. Not to mention, being easy to use. It doesn't take up time from your core business activities. But yeah, really interesting figures. Obviously, these are Work Trend Index report figures on just what can be the cybersecurity threat, and we never want to, put the fear factor in there. But this doesn't include the numbers that governments can put on, lost data. Obviously, we've got the GDPR regulation in the UK. That's just the cost of the breach, but it doesn't include the cost of, losing data. So, despite all that, with the right tools at hand, digital space can help you stay safe from this and help you grow your business. Microsoft 365 solutions are designed to equip business owners to respond to these three key challenges. So, I want to show how this solution helps you be more collaborative and connects you with your people, secures your business with the technology you can trust, and helps you, reduce those costs. But just to start, what is Microsoft 365? And I'm really going to underline this. It's a secure, cost-effective, reliable cloud solution for real-time collaboration and secure work from virtually anywhere. I may sound like I'm repeating myself, but it's a really important message. It's all in one package. Secure, reliable, productive. It really is that simple package. So let's keep on top of mind some of the market trends we've been through, and let's frame this specifically around Business Premium. So Business Premium is a feature and value-packed package for all small and medium-sized businesses. And thinking back to what we discussed here, these are the three main areas that it helps. I've repeated myself again, I know, but it is really important. The Zero Trust Foundation, simplifying endpoint management and unleashing productivity. Looking at some of the points around security, you remember that 300% increase in ransomware attacks in the past year? Well, Business Premium, it absolutely epitomizes Zero Trust. But what is Zero Trust? It essentially is a security methodology. You don't need to worry so much about what features are enabled and what leads to it, but it's the setup of a security methodology which assumes all requests from both inside and outside your organization are malicious in nature. So every time you request to open a document, every time somebody from maybe working away is looking to access their email account, everything is assumed to be malicious. It's like guilty until proven innocent in a security sense, which is really handy because everything's checked, and it's the best way to be when it comes to your business data. Thinking back as well to our discussion around employees working from multiple devices, perhaps even some of their own. You might have a bring your own device policy, you might provide these devices. It doesn't really matter because Business Premium helps with managing this estate in either way. It ensures devices are compliant, so meet the minimum security standards, which obviously Digital Space can help you set up and help you decide what you want that to be. Make sure they're up to date and they're managed effectively for your business data as well. And finally, we can't forget this. It's the face of Business Premium. It's what you'll see day to day. The security bits, you don't notice when they're working that they're working, but productivity is the piece that you'll be used to when you're using this solution. So it allows you to bring hybrid work into one place and build your foundation ready for AI. I do want to delve in quickly to the product itself and what do you actually get in there, because Microsoft 365 for SMB comes in 3 main flavors. You've got Business Basic, you've got Business Standard, and you've got Business Premium. Microsoft 365 Business Basic is on the far left, it's the entry level tier designed for businesses seeking just essential services. So it includes web and mobile versions of the Office apps. Just to underline, that's web and mobile only, not the desktop. So that's Word, Excel, PowerPoint. You do get a terabyte of cloud storage per person for file sharing and collaboration. It supports productivity with professional email through Outlook and enables teamwork with Microsoft Teams as well for all those chat and video conferencing meetings that you might have. Like I say, that it does lack the desktop app versions and also the advanced security features that you find in the higher tiers. So yes, that is the entry level tier. If we move up, you get Microsoft 365 Business Standard, which offers all the benefits of Business Basic, plus the full desktop versions of the Office apps for a more comprehensive productivity suite. So this is where you can actually install the applications on your device. It also includes additional tools such as Microsoft Bookings for scheduling and managing appointments, and the ability to host webinars with attendee registration and reporting. So Business Standard is suitable for businesses that need more robust productivity tools and device management options without the need for the top tier Business Premium security measures. So yeah, at the top, that brings us to the main star of the show, the Business Premium package. It provides the most complete solution, combining the features of lower tiers with advanced security and device management. This includes cyber threat protection with Defender for Business. So that's where we're thinking about things like email attacks and so on. Device management capabilities through a product called Microsoft Intune and Entra Information Protection. Essentially putting in, as we said before, putting in those policies on those devices to make sure they are compliant enough to access your company data, and we have control if they are lost or stolen. It's also ideal for businesses that prioritize the security and IT control alongside that productivity and collaboration. So it's a best fit for businesses looking for that all-in-one solution, as I said before, to manage their IT environment. Just to remind everyone as well, please feel free to put any Q&As in, raise your hand, that sort of thing. And obviously my colleagues, if you can let me know if I'm missing anything. But yeah, definitely want to make sure this is a useful time for absolutely everyone. So please interact. So yes, Business Premium brings together the key capabilities you need to work from anywhere, collaborate using Microsoft Teams, secure your identities, your data and your devices, and provide remote access, and you can even provide virtual desktops as well. But primarily we're looking at security and collaboration as well. So I never like to spend too long on the deep, IT security features in here. Obviously, Digital Space can of course talk you through it as well. But I do want to just give you a taste of what does all this mean. There's a lot of terms here which sound good, but I just want to bring that into specific real terms. So with Business Premium, you've got protection across identity. So that's basically your user profiles within your IT estate. Protection on your devices that you're using, as well as data, as well, your company data. So if we're looking at identities, and we talk a lot about protecting access, so to speak. So every time you log onto something, you'll put your Microsoft username and password in there. So we want to look at protecting against lost or stolen passwords, things like multi-factor authentication, which is where essentially you've probably done it with your Microsoft account, but it's where you put in your credentials. You then asked for a second set of identity. So that could be, a second set of credentials. So that could be a code you need to enter or something like that. Why does that matter? So if somebody else has got your password, they log on, you receive a notification which says someone's tried to log on, please enter this code to complete the login. They don't have that code, they can't get in. It's that back to that zero trust point. If it is you, we're still checking it is you, that sort of thing. The protection continues into devices, as I said. So the devices mainly that access your data, whether company or employee owned, using Intune policies, including the ability to remotely wipe lost or stolen devices. So what does that mean? If for whatever reason the employee has no longer got access to that device, they don't know where it is, you can, from Microsoft, just get rid of all company data from that device. If it is their own device, it doesn't wipe any personal information at all. The company has no jurisdiction over that. It will purely be that company data. So it's a really handy tool to have. With data, I want to talk a bit about the data loss prevention. And that is where you can classify your documents within the organization and put rules around those classifications. For example, you might have a project you're working on which isn't quite ready for the public eye. You can mark that as internal only and put policies on that label to say if it is attempted to be sent out, block. So if somebody accidentally, I'm sure, attaches it to an email, the email will not be allowed to be sent. Or you could do simply put a banner up rather than actually fully blocking that. There are different options you've got here, but as you can see, these are all ways you can stop these potential data leaks. And they're not all, of course, malicious in nature. People can, as we looked at the numbers around, the stress of work at the moment, they can just make mistakes, and it all protects against that. So I'm going to stop there with the specific technologies around Business Premium. And we've talked a lot about technology benefits of that, but I want to talk about the business case for using this and how it can help reduce the costs and complexity. Okay. So we've just had a really well anonymous question here. Do you have a discount on the latest software? If not, how can I save money? So of course, speak to Digital Space around costings. I won't discuss that on the call today, and my presentation here is in dollars, but there is a conversation to be had around that, because the amount of technology that you get in Business Premium, it can oftentimes replace existing third-party technologies that you're already purchasing and bring that into one package. So if we look here, Business Premium was designed as an integrated solution to help businesses reduce cost. It absolutely meets that requirement. So it's on last estimate, 50% more cost effective versus buying the tools individually. So it creates a strong opportunity for you to review that. So let's have a look at this. This essentially is a list of products at the market average standard. So equivalent products that you get as features within Business Premium. Remote access solution, advanced email protection, single sign-on, conditional access, so on and so forth. So you're looking total $45 roughly for last check for the kind of average standard there. Business Premium, as I say, for the full price, obviously contact digital space in for the price in pounds, but Business Premium, all of that included for $22 a month. Plus, we cannot stress this enough, it's really forgotten. You get the benefit of a solution that's designed to work together. So if we take, remote access solution, something like, I don't know, Okta, or we've got Kaspersky for endpoint protection. Those two were not built in tandem. Okta was not thinking about Kaspersky, and Kaspersky was not thinking about Okta. Not only are you getting all of this in one package, you're getting a really slick solution. So with that, we've covered, the three phases of the journey from the needs. So we've looked at some of the market trends, the actual features of the solution, and the business case as well. So let's have a look. Let's see it in action. Now, of course, this demo is not going to go through the ins and outs of security policies and things like that. It's not for that. Obviously, digital space can help with all of that side. But I wanted to show some of the productivity benefits of using a product like Business Premium with those productivity applications that are included. So let's have a start here. Brilliant. So let's start by how we can work better together with Microsoft Teams and collaborate as a group, with co-workers. You could even do it with customers and suppliers. Now we're going to start with Teams here in the life of Megan, who is a business owner. Now, Megan begins her day like anyone else in Microsoft Teams. So Teams is ideal for working in a group. Typically, group members have trouble keeping track of all the various threads. It's hard to get track of this over email, and also the documents are scattered. So we can see on the left hand here, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but on the left hand side, there is a launch team in what's called a channel. So these channels can be created with any members. And below that channel, you've got these different channels below. So we've got the design channel just below that. So I'm going to firstly select the general. Okay. So it's a team site that acts as a central repository for all the launch activities. So a team has a single workspace to access and view the content. But let's go to the design one now. Okay. So you can see what the design team has been speaking about, because we've got this persistent chat feature and can quickly get up to speed by seeing past conversations. So we're just going to go up a bit further and we can see there's been a GIF posted there, which we can play. Just a bit of light-hearted fun. And if we keep going up, we can see more of the persistent chats. And it's also a great feature when new members of the team join, because they can easily see previous conversations and get up to speed quickly. So you may notice the conversations tab at the top that we are currently in. And this is where the chat appears specifically for the design team, because remember, we are in the design section. So Teams enables a free flow of conversation where the design team can collaborate and trade ideas in that single persistent chat. But if we keep scrolling up, Teams is also good for just a bit of light-hearted fun, and it supports GIFs, stickers, emojis, and you can see from Megan there, I've got a little emoji just below. All right, so let's have a look at the files section. This is just one tab along from the conversations tab we're currently in, and it's just near the top. So let's jump into that. So another great feature of Teams is that all team members can access the files in a single place. So obviously we're in this design team. Any documents relevant to the design team can be saved in here. Saves time, and it also enables collaboration. Instead of emailing each other documents, Team serves as that central place where they're current, they're synchronized, so everyone can work off the same document. So Megan can even easily add integrated apps into the teams to make working a bit richer. You might have third-party solutions that are project management solutions or whatever it is that we can actually integrate into Teams so we can continue to work from one place. So you can see just at the top here, there's a plus button alongside the tabs. So this is where we can actually add third-party apps, and we've got all of them listed here. You can add a OneNote app, you can add a PDF for quick open and access, you can even take it straight to a website or some third-party applications down here. So if we're using these applications anyway, why not integrate it into the team? And that's not all, I can scroll down, there are tons more as well. All right, so let's close that off. I won't add one today. So I'm still in the files section of our team channel. Teams, has added, the team, I should say, has added OneNote to track the notes from previous design reviews. So let's take a look at this. We can see the OneNote in the shared file section. So I'll select that. So going back to Megan, she's going to use this to catch up on the meetings that have taken place. She notices that from the information that there's a meeting to be set up with that design team. So I think we're going to work on that. So if we look at the far left on the screen, you'll see meetings. So I'm going to go here. So in here, we can see a meeting that we've been invited to, but I'm not going to act on that just yet, as I need to schedule the meeting as per the OneNote document and focus on that. So at the bottom, we can see there's a button that says schedule a meeting. So I'm going to open that. All right, so this opens a schedule meeting wizard in Teams, and let's give that a name. So we'll probably call that design review. And you'll notice next to the title box on the right, there's an option to select a channel to meet in. This is the same channel that we've been using for the design team. So we can select that. All right, it's in the launch team. So if I select that and then I get my options, I'll select the design team. And there you go. So just like that, everyone who's already part of the design team has been invited to this meeting. So you don't have to type each name individually, saving you plenty of time. But maybe there's somebody you want to invite in to this meeting that isn't part of the design team. So there is a box here where you can invite additional people just below where we've added the design team. So if I select that and search for, let's invite Enrico in there, and there he is. He just appears after just typing a quick E. So we'll select him and he's brought in. So once the meeting is created, a meeting link is automatically sent. So all attendees have a conference bridge so they can click to attend. There's no need to remember any conference ID or anything. You just click and it'll send, essentially. So let's select schedule a meeting. And there we are. That is scheduled in, design review, and everyone's invited. So I also want to show how Teams covers the one-to-one chat, where Megan can privately chat with Lydia on team matters. So if you look again on the far left, you'll see the chat option. So I'm going to select this. I'm already in a chat with Lydia. She's asking to speak. Let's respond and let her know we can speak via the chat box just at the bottom. And I'll put sure. There we go. And let's get that sent off. Brilliant. So it's sent. So with the Teams chat functionality, Megan doesn't just chat with Lydia, but she can easily, elevate that conversation to an actual phone call. So you'll see at the top here, there's a phone symbol. So we can just select that and call her, and it's ringing. Now she's not going to answer. However, it's just to show Teams is that single hub that brings together people, groups, content, with the ability to chat, to access files, live files as well, and get on, calls with Teams. It's a great application, enhances and simplifies that collaboration. So you can get more done with the intelligent business tools built into Office, and just streamline that day-to-day activity. So that's Teams. Let's have a look at some handy features in Mail now. So let's go have a look in there. Brilliant. So Outlook has a very rich, immersive interface and enterprise-grade email features like a focus view of the inbox that prioritizes important email. You can see just at the top here, we're in focused. Megan can then focus on communications that deserve her, immediate attention. Just checking I've not got a new question. 1 second. Oh, looks like I've got some more. Is it possible to bolt on something like Intune, for example, to the Business Basic license if I don't need the other features in the premium license? Yeah, absolutely. So obviously Intune, just to remind everyone, comes with the features to help protect company data on remote devices, as well as to secure those devices more effectively. Yes, you do not need to purchase the full Business Premium license to get that. There is an individual add-on. Though what I would say is it's always good to get that all-in-one complete solution so you can make full use of the Intune solution as well. And then we've got another question. Can Digital Space help support to set up and manage the various features of the premium license, i.e. Defender, Intune, SharePoint, etc.? Now, normally I'd hand over to Digital Space, but I know this, absolutely. Please reach out to them. They can absolutely help with all of this and make it nice and simple for you. So yes. So back to this. Obviously, we've just discussed the focused inbox where Megan can focus on the most important emails. So let's have a very quick look at the other just to see what's left. And yeah, it's that less high priority email. So we'll just click back on focus for now. So as we know, mentioned it previously, there's a 50 gigabyte mailbox in Business Premium, as there is in Business Basic and Business Standard, but obviously we're primarily looking at Business Premium today. So no need to worry about the constraints of a small inbox, delete any important emails, that sort of thing. But if we scroll down the messages, we need to start triaging this email. So she notices that some requests need to go on a to-do list to get to later. So I'm just going to go back to the top and let's have a look at this email from Bob Kelly. Now you'll notice just here, Outlook gives Megan, several triage options on the messages. So 4 little icons. We've got delete, which is like a garbage can. Mark as read, which is like the envelopes. Flag the message, and then we've got pin to the top of the folder, which is just that little push pin. So I'm going to flag it. Okay, and because I've flagged this for Megan, it's automatically added to her to-do list. So if I scroll down, okay, next there seems to be an important email from an R&D developer, Henrietta. Looks like she wants to chat soon. So let's take a look at some of the response options that Outlook gives us. Just up here where it says reply all, there's a little arrow here. So we've got some options here. We can reply, which will just send directly back to Henrietta. We've got reply all. If there was more people in the chat, as we know, I'm sure we've all used emails, and that'll send to everyone. Forward. There's even an option to reply all by meeting. Now, given in Henrietta's email that she's asked for a chat, I think that will be the best option. So let's give that a go. Now, you may recognize this. It's very similar to what it appears in Teams. So with one click, we've conveniently got into a meeting setup screen. And it also, which is really important, it automatically chooses the next available time for both Megan and Henrietta. We've all been there where we've got a few people and we're trying to find that time where everybody's free. This absolutely makes this so much quicker. However, Megan does feel that this call can be had on another day. So I'm going to just select that start time. And I'm going to say June, let's say June 22nd. Okay. And automatically, Outlook again on that day will pick a time which is convenient for both Megan and Henrietta. All right, so I'm happy with that. I'm going to send it just with the send button off at the top. And there we are, back in the inbox. So let's check a calendar and see a day's schedule, easily accessible from the inbox. It's just down here. We've got a little calendar symbol, bottom left-hand corner. Select that. If you look along the top, we've got some weather icons, just convenient features to know what the weather's going to be like, especially if you're a traveling person in your role. If you're going to need an umbrella or sunglasses. We can also add in additional calendars, which I've just added to the top here, which allows you to see, for example, here. So there's the launch team from Teams. So any meetings booked as part of that calendar can be brought alongside Megan's calendar, and we can see if there are any conflicts, anywhere she's free, anywhere we can book a meeting where everybody's free. Brilliant, very convenient. Okay, let's have a look at the tasks now. So where we selected the calendar, I'm going to go across to the tasks, which is that box with the little tick in it. So today, Megan needs to work on some important tasks. We've got to coordinate activities for the product launch. That involves a design review. We need to create an investor proposal deck to wow potential investors. Excuse me. We need to take action on the new customer requests that came in from Bob Kelly. So we're going to start work on the investor proposal deck now. So I'm going to go to PowerPoint just in my taskbar here. So let's go there. So this is Megan's investor proposal deck. As a business owner, she doesn't normally have the time to build, very neat slides. As we can see, it's pretty boring looking, but we want it to look more professional. And here's what PowerPoint Intelligent Services can do and, save you quite a lot of time. So at the top of the PowerPoint in the ribbon, you'll see a tab called Design. So I'm going to open that, which will open up the design section with new options. So we're going to go to Design Ideas, just on the far right. This brings up design recommendations on the right. PowerPoint's designer feature automatically recommends design ideas for each slide, and it also does quite intelligently bases that on the content of the slide, which we'll see more from the other slides. So there's more than just what's appearing here. If I just scroll down, there we go. I can see more. So just go back to the top because I quite like that first one. I'm going to select that. And there we are in seconds. Professional looking design, modern, nice and easy. If we go to slide 2, now you'll notice this is an agenda slide, and it automatically picks up the bullet points and produces outputs based on that. So I quite like the look of this one. Instant. And if we go to slide 3, it's noticing here that we've got images alongside the content, and we can select the design we like, and it pulls it in. Final slide. Now here we've got some dates, which is very handy because it does pick this up, and it even can suggest certain timelines with this. So if I select this design here, added it in. So as you can see, it really makes creating a PowerPoint a much quicker experience rather than having to spend time tweaking, little smart objects and boxes and fonts and things like that. It can set you up pretty quickly. You can, of course, do some tweaks yourself as well on top of that, but it's a nice start and does the bulk of the work. So let's leave this now. So we've done the investor proposal deck. Brilliant. So Megan's going to head to a OneDrive for Business because I think we could get some more people involved with it, to be honest. So we'll go up to the OneDrive tab, where obviously Megan stores her files and shares files with her colleagues. So you'll see there's a little share icon next to the investor proposal deck we've just worked on. So I'm going to select that. And I want to share this with Lydia so she can also work on the deck. So I'm just going to enter her name in here. And there's Lydia, add her in. And simply send it across. So within a couple of clicks, Lydia's been added to the deck. She can edit it with Megan. So let's have a look at the PowerPoint again. Okay, brilliant. So this is the very powerful co-authoring capabilities within Microsoft 365. It allows simultaneous co-authoring between colleagues, suppliers, or even customers, because it doesn't just have to be people within your organization. So I'm going to open the same deck, but this time as Lydia, not Megan. So if I go to Internet Explorer, so I'm now looking at the same deck, but I'm Lydia now. And you can see that Megan is now editing the deck. And we can also see what Megan sees. So I've gone back to Megan now, and I can see Lydia is looking at this part. So now that she's working on the deck, and just to be clear as well, if Lydia makes any edits, so for the time being, Lydia's working on this section, Megan will not be able to edit that at the same time. It's locked out. When Lydia is done, it will automatically update for Megan. So it's all very live, can work on documents together from separate places. Fantastic. So she's working on the deck now. Let's move on. So I do want to cover finally bookings as well, because it's a very powerful tool for small businesses to help with managing bookings with customers. This is what you're looking at here is essentially the web page which a customer will use to book in time with your organization. This can be edited, of course, and made your own, branded, that sort of thing. But it's a very handy and quick way to integrate people's requests to have time with your organization into your existing Microsoft suite. So if I go into the more developer side, so this is where you can start to edit your bookings page. So you can see here the actual link to your page, you can see the color preferences, you can add your own logos, and you can even adjust various things like, you can add multiple members of staff. So if you've got multiple, obviously, members of staff who you can book time with, it will look at all of their current calendars. It'll obviously increase the availability if more people are free. There are scheduling policies as well. So we can do time increments, 30 minutes. Lead time needs to be a minimum of an hour. Maximum lead time, you can book within the next year, that sort of thing. And if a booking's made, you can see that via the calendar of the bookings page, and it's even included in the staff calendars as well. So if we go back to Outlook, if a new booking is made, you can see that in the bookings message. So there we go. We've got a message from Christine Klein that we've now got a booking booked. So it's a single subscription Microsoft 365 business. We've finished with bookings there. And it provides businesses with collaboration, security, easy device management, and underline again, that collaboration saves tons of time with little features like that. You add up these, 2 minutes time savings on each feature in the day. You add up, good chunky time savings from things like the designer. It really does make an impact on your productivity. So I do hope this presentation has armed you with why Business Premium is the absolute gold standard for a small business, or small, medium even. It does really pack a punch with one solution, best productivity, advanced security, the lot. Really important questions to think about. What are your overall thoughts with your business? Please share any comments or learnings from today's experience that you've got with digital space. Oh, I've just had a question landing actually as well. Let's have a look. What tools do we have access to besides the standard PowerPoint and Excel? I recently learned about forms. Is there anything else? So obviously you've got the main productivity tools Word, Excel, PowerPoint, that sort of thing. Forms is a really handy one. There are little hidden ones as well, things like Whiteboard. Whiteboard is an awesome feature which you can integrate obviously into Teams as well to help with those kind of exploratory conversations, creative conversations. And I'm going to go a bit extracurricular and say when you've got that powered by Copilot, you can have a lot of fun with that. It's very, very handy. But yes, that's the thick of it, to be honest with you. Forms is a very good one as well, if you want to take any kind of surveys and that sort of thing. Yeah, there's a fair few. Yeah, so have a look at, obviously have a think about these questions. I will now hand back over to, I believe it's yourself, Richard, correct me if I'm wrong, just to kind of discuss through the next steps for you with Digital Space.
Thanks, Tony. I will just take control again. So, yeah, if there's any other questions, please still feel free to raise them in the chat. If not, get in contact with us directly. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of the thing. So please reach out to Digital Space. We've got a free consultation session available to help uncover where you can make cost savings and efficiency improvements. We can, of course, cover off any other questions that you have or go into detail about the different licensing types or underlying Microsoft products that you get in those different licensing. We'd be more than happy to talk that through with you, as well as help you uncover some cost savings. So with that, we'll move on to any Q&A. We'll just give it a second to see if there are any other questions before we close out. No, it doesn't look. Excuse me. Doesn't look like there's any other questions. Oh, hi.
Oh,
hi.
We
have got a last minute question. Yeah, please go ahead. Okay, maybe we'll pick that up with you separately, Mandar. We'll get in contact with you directly, and we'll go through those questions if you like. Okay, right. With that, I'll thank everybody for joining. As I say, please do get in contact with us should you wish to go over the points we covered today. And maybe you'll have a great afternoon. Thanks very much.
Thank you.